Okay, so we're looking at question 5, and you'll notice I've still actually got question 4 up here, because it kind of actually follows on from number 4. So we've drawn two atoms. We've drawn fluorine, or fluorine, and beryllium. And if you have a look at fluorine, let's have a look at it. We worked out it had 9 protons, atomic number 9, which means it's got 9 electrons too. And then we can take 19, take away 9. It means we've got 10 neutrons. Okay, and we can double check the 9 protons and 10 neutrons should add up to that mass number. So that's what we've got in the middle here. The protons and neutrons should add up to that mass number. Fantastic. Alright, and beryllium, 4 protons, 4 electrons, 5 neutrons. Okay, so if we have a look at them, the next part is to compare and contrast the two atoms by listing some of the similarities and the differences. And this really isn't as hard as maybe it sounds. You literally just look at the two and say, what kind of things are the same and what sort of things are different? So for instance, the size of the atoms. Is one of these atoms bigger than the other one? Well, this one has a larger nucleus. It's got more protons and neutrons. But, so you could mention that, the size of the nucleus is bigger, but overall they're actually a similar size because they fill 2 shells worth of electrons. So they're a similar size. Alright, if we look at their electron configurations, what else is similar? Both of them have 2 electrons in their first shell. Well, what's actually different? Well, their outer shell, or their valence electrons, fluorine has 7 in its outer shell. Beryllium only has 2 valence electrons, 2 outer shell electrons. Alright, what else can we have a look at? And I'll clear that because it'll get in our way. What else are the difference between them? Well, the overall charge of each atom. Both of them are neutral because they both have the same number of protons as electrons. So even though fluorine has more protons, it also has more electrons. It has an even number, has 9 protons, 9 electrons. Beryllium has 2 protons and 2 electrons. So it's the same, both of them have a balanced number of protons and electrons. We spoke about the number of electrons in the outer shell. We could mention whether they're going to try and gain or lose electrons. So fluorine had 7 electrons in its outer shell. It's going to try and gain 1 more electron to get a full outer shell. And if we look at beryllium, it would have to gain 6 more to get a full outer shell. So the easier option, the easier way to do that is it's probably actually just going to lose 2. So we go through these things. They're a similar size. They're actually one has a larger nucleus, but they're a similar size because they have the same number of shells. Their electron configurations, they both have 2 electrons in their first shell, but they have a different number of valence electrons in their outer shell. So if we have a look at that, fluorine has 7 in its outer shell, beryllium only has 2. The overall charge, both of them are neutral because they have an even number of protons and electrons. Alright, and lastly, they will try to, we can say fluorine will try to gain 1 more electron, easier to do that than lose all 7, and beryllium's probably going to try and lose 2 rather than gain another 6 to fill up its outer shell. So we're just listing those similarities and differences, and that way we're comparing and contrasting the two.